What's up wrestling fans, my name is Aaron and this is Wrestling by Waldridge, and in today's video I am going to be telling you how I would structure the upcoming Owen Hart Cup in AEW. 1 month ago in September, All Elite Wrestling announced that it had entered a partnership with the Owen Hart Foundation and that a brand new annual tournament titled the Owen Hart Cup would be established. Now, a date hasn't been officially confirmed yet, but I would expect it to be announced sometime between next year's Revolution and Double or Nothing pay-per-views. There has been a lot of talk surrounding who will actually be in this tournament, how many will be participating, and how it would be structured, whether that be a traditional knockout tournament, something similar to the G1 tournament in New Japan, or something totally original. Either way, I would certainly want as many wrestlers involved as possible. I am definitely in the camp of always feeling slightly underwhelmed when I only see 8 competitors in a tournament, like how we've seen with WWE's King of the Ring and Queen's Crown tournament and AEW's World Title Eliminator tournament. I think more participants only helps with a tournament's prestige in a company, and I think it generates much more excitement among us fans. So with that being said, I would go for 32 competitors for the tournament I will be suggesting. Now, I could have qualifying matchups and just have 16 wrestlers instead, which some of you may prefer, but I find I'm never as invested in qualifying matchups. I also think that having more wrestlers in the actual tournament would probably suit the way I would structure the tournament a little bit more. Now, considering AEW already format their championship eliminators as traditional knockouts, I would want the Owen Hart Cup to feel different and bigger. I've also heard a lot of suggestions that the Owen Hart Cup should be AEW's version of New Japan's G1 tournament. However, whilst I do think that it could work in a televised North American promotion, New Japan produce 2 to 3 shows a week that are entirely dedicated to the tournament itself, whilst AEW is a more westernized, story-driven promotion that also has to book a women's division and a tag team division. So I'm just not sure it would get the time and attention that it would deserve. You could argue that some of the matchups could take place on AEW Dark and AEW Dark Elevation, but I would prefer the tournament to have full exposure on AEW's televised shows, Dynamite and Rampage. Of course, AEW could just produce a smaller version of the G1, but I wouldn't want the Owen Hart Cup to feel inferior to that tournament in any way. So what I'm proposing is an original format which could be described as a hybrid between those aforementioned tournaments. If anyone follows the NFL or European international football, soccer for those of you who live across the pond, you could say that my proposed format heavily draws inspiration from those tournaments, except in reverse. So I would kick things off with 2 rounds of single elimination wrestling, followed by a round robin featuring the final 8 competitors. The round robin point system would be the same as the G1, so 2 points for a victory and 1 point for a draw, so it would look something like this. Obviously this might look a little confusing, and I'm sure AEW could do a much better job with the bracket graphics. In my opinion, structuring the knockout rounds to happen first would only build anticipation for the round robin section of the tournament, and I think it would give the performers a big sense of achievement if they're able to reach it. Sure, you could split the round robin into 3 or 4 mini groups and have that happen before the knockouts, but I think it might be more prudent to have the 24 eliminated wrestlers available for your storylines in only a matter of weeks. Similar to the G1, wrestlers will inevitably be eliminated as the round robin progresses, which essentially means there would be a number of insignificant matchups. However, AEW has a trump card over New Japan in the form of its ranking system, despite how broken it might seem at times. Yet it still allows the wrestlers to work their way into title contention in a tournament setting. Then it comes down to who will be participating in this tournament. I have heard some people suggest that wrestlers from other promotions should be involved, whether that be from AAA, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, GCW, etc, etc. Though for the inaugural Owen Hart Cup, I think I would prefer to see an exclusive AEW tournament. After all, AEW has a very big roster, so I don't think it would be a problem whatsoever. However, that's not to say wrestlers from other promotions could be involved in future editions. Additionally, I would not want any current champions to participate in the tournament. That might be a controversial opinion, but first and foremost, I would want the AEW World title to be featured in AEW's top storyline still. And secondly, whilst you could have the TNT champion in the tournament, on the contrary to what WWE might have you believe, I do not like to see my champions losing in non-title matches. So unless the champion is winning the tournament, I think it's quite hard to book around. I think AEW has done a great job of making the TNT championship feeling nearly as prestigious as the world title, so I wouldn't want one championship to be included without the other. Another controversial decision I would make, no doubt, is to omit any wrestlers currently in an established tag team with the exception of one tag team. And unfortunately, it isn't Rey Fenix and Pentagon Jr. Please don't hate me. If I'm being honest, one of the main reasons why I wouldn't include any tag team wrestlers is because if AEW were going to do their own version of the G1, I would love to see a tag team adaptation, but that's a conversation for another video. So with all of this being said, although it's probably unlikely that the following two performers will still be vying for the world title when the tournament is announced, I have decided to exclude Kenny Omega and Adam Hangman Page. I know, I'm so sorry. And to make things even worse for you, I've excluded Sammy Guevara. You could argue that he wouldn't have any challengers, but there would soon be wrestlers eliminated from the knockout stage of the tournament to fill that void. You could even bring someone through the Forbidden Door to be a temporary challenger. I will be releasing an additional video after this one, where I will be booking the Owen Hart Cup using my format. However, in this video, I will be sharing which wrestlers I think should enter the tournament. So without further ado, I would choose Adam Cole, baby, Andrade El Idolo, the recently signed Bobby Fish, The Machine, Brian Cage, The American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, Les Champions, Chris Jericho, Christian Cage, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, AEW's newest signee, Daniel Garcia, The Elite Hunter, Frankie Kazarian, Darby Allin, The Mad King, Eddie Kingston, Jon Moxley, Jungle Boy, The Nightmare Family's Lee Johnson, the only man on this list who is not currently signed with AEW, Lee Moriarty, the Murderhawk Monster, Lance Archer, Luchasaurus, Malachi Black, Big Money Matt Hardy, Matt Sydal, God's Forsaken Champion, Miro, MJF, The Factories, Nick Comoroto, Orange Cassidy, The Bastard Pack, Powerhouse Hobbs, The Dark Order's Preston Vance, number 10, Ricky Starks, because the FTW champion doesn't count in my exclusions, and two more members from the Pinnacle, Shawn Spears and Wardlow. So if you think this list of competitors sounds quite exciting, or if you've disagreed with everything I've said, then make sure you stay tuned for the next video where I will be sharing who will be facing who in the first round of the tournament and who I think would eventually win the Owen. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. It really helps me out with growing the channel. Make sure to hit that like button as well, give it a share across social media, and hit the notification bell to be notified when I release new videos on the channel. And please subscribe, guys. It means so much to me. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at WrestlingByW. I hope you all have great days, guys, and I shall see you all for the next one. Bye bye.